New day in life at the Aboriginal LostPhoenixWolf on my channel. Today is still August 28th. This is the last video log for my viewers. I took a little bit of 15-minute break because my camera was overheating 1 minute into this video, so I had to redo it. So, took a 15-minute break. I had me a egg sandwich, just a regular egg sandwich, a little bit of iron powder on there. Not really feel like eating much of anything else right now. I know I wrapped up the last video pretty quick, but I'm going to talk a little bit more on that. So when I walked into the doctor's office, and I'm feeling a little proud because I'm going to get these the stitches, what I thought was just stitches, but they're staples, and thought nothing of it. They have these metal things to take out for the knife wound. And we're waiting around a little bit, probably a half hour or something like that. Then we went in and then sat down for a bed there 15-20 minutes, and then he came in and he goes, well, he goes, you've been through a little bit of an adventure, haven't you? And I said, yeah, I guess. He goes, you scared your parents with this. I can't believe that you almost got yourself killed. I said, well, it was that friend. He was on some kind of drugs, and he accidentally stabbed me. And he goes, yeah, I see the report right here. He goes, you don't really tell me twice what's going on because I see it right here. He goes, you're lucky to be alive right now. You lost a lot of blood. They gave you a blood transfusion in the hospital. You're lucky to even have blood for your blood type. And now we're going to have to take these staples out. And I said, he says it's not going to be easy because the skin is going to heal over the staples a little bit, so I'm going to have to pull them. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's fine. He goes, it ain't going to be, he says it's going to hurt a little. So he goes, you ready? So I was sitting there laying there. He's pulling the one staple. He's pulling on the one staple, and I'm like, oh my God, and it's like, oh my God. That first staple wasn't that bad. It was a little bit sore. Then he went to the second staple. Man, I was tear coming to my eyes because it was really sore. I just biting down. It was really sore. Then he had to pull the fourth staple. I think I had about 8 staples. So one by one, more pain, more pain, more pain. So he throws some kind of alcohol, I think it's alcohol at that time, dabs on there, throws a little big band-aid in there. He goes, those little staple holes should heal up fine. He goes, the scar looked, he's healed up pretty good. You might not have that scar for the rest of your life, but chances are you will. And he goes, hopefully I don't have to see you in this situation again. Like, I know you've had your immunization here. You got to take the cast off for your wrist and your ankle. And you go for even your checkups and your other needles and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I know. He goes, I'm getting too old for this stuff. He goes, this is scary. He goes, I can't believe you went through this and you put your parents through this. And I said, well, I'm out of that gang now. I know it was a little silly of a gang, but it kind of felt like it wasn't really me. I didn't really belong there, and how I got out of there wasn't really an easy task. Well, it was fairly easy. It got stabbed, but not easy feeling like that. So I just held he said have the bandage on for about 2-3 days. You should be fine. So days have passed after the bandage is off. I'm sitting there with a mirror looking at my scar and bumps of that, and years after years they talk about the scar and how I got it, and like if any girl's seen it or somebody asked about if I have any big wounds or any kind of cuts on my body, and I told them about that. Scar is there, when I push on the scar, you could feel the toughness, like there was, like it's like a double skin there now. Very rough indeed. I'm trying to think about something else, maybe in the hospital or doctor or something like that. Let's see. I'm not too sure. I think maybe I was like 14, 15, suffering through my first food poisoning, and I didn't know what was up. I had some of this food that I guess it sat around a little bit, and I guess it got spoiled, and I got some kind of food poisoning, and my stomach was really bad. It felt like a burning in my stomach, and I think the very first time that very first time I ever thrown up and being sick and flu and stuff, and that was like between 6 and 8, like 3 or 4 times. Next time after that was when I was 11, and then next time I threw up after that when I was like, I think I was 31, so 20 years later. So I'm sitting here with a really sore stomach, and I'm back at the old doctors, and this is before leaving from here and the family members and coming back to towns like this, and then back to the reserve and living in the reserve for a bunch of times, and then back here again. But anyway, so he gave me some liquid stuff. I forget what it was called now. And it came in a little bottle anyway, like a small bottle, and then a little cap on there. Liquid antibiotic to drink. It was terrible. Not only that, my grandma, my dad's mom, got me to drink some Indian medicine because of my food poisoning. And it wasn't really that much severe as that, which was painful. And between drinking and going to the washroom 1 or 2, just to get rid of the pain, and just close call. I guess food poisoning could be a bad thing. Food poisoning could kill you. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure if anybody died from food poisoning, but I know they've been through a lot of crap. That's the only one I can think of right now, being back to doctors. I don't really know about anything else. Trying to think of something here, guys. Trying to think of something, been in a hospital or a doctor or something. Oh, yes. I do remember that. That was when I was 13. Which one was that? This is my right. Yeah, it's my right, because my right grinds. Okay. 13 years old. I'm into basketball, into soccer, into tennis, baseball. I don't know if I ever said baseball. Games like that. Sports, a little bit roughing here and there. And I got into, well, only for a short time. I think I was only maybe a month on or 2 months on. And I practiced hard with the ball and did some tricks and kicking around and getting some goals in while practicing, and running up and down the field. I was quick. It was I'd done some leg tricks and getting that that ball away from that person and kicking it between their legs and flipping it around and stuff like that. And soccer days was good. I can't remember the color of the jersey we wear, what the name of the soccer thing was. I do remember the pain. So getting to the pain. I'm playing, I'm running, and then there's this guy who's this kid. He's just a little bit taller than me, maybe a little more weight on him. Trying hard to get around him, and I wind up to give it a kick with my right foot, and he's still coming at me. I kicked that ball with my right foot off to another teammate, and the other opposing team guy, he jumped up to try to stop the ball. He came down and he landed on my right knee and broke my leg backwards, right behind the kneecap. So that was a lot of pain at that time, and ambulance came. Like the people, we were doing actual just a regular school, team soccer. So somebody came in a stretcher and stuff, and there were a couple stupid mascots. I think one was a dog, and the other one was some kind of thing. They were coming, joking around and dancing around, so and they put me on a stretcher and pull and take me out, and they're not dancing as much because they know that I'm in pain. So seeing a school nurse, and she said, "Oh, there's nothing I can do. That looks really bad." She goes, "It is broken backwards, and you're going to have to go to the hospital." So I went from there to the hospital, and an ambulance. I mean, she probably could have easily took me, or somebody else could have even took me instead of being in an ambulance. So I'm going to the ambulance, and I'm on my way to the hospital. And the bumpy rides, kind of things. I'm laying sideways because I can't lay. Well, kind of laying sideways, trying to get rid of the pain on the side, or the pain on my right leg. I get to the hospital. I try hard to try to give it compliment, trying to be comfortable in the wheelchair. And I had to sit in the wheelchair for a bunch of hours anyway, going by, and then the nurse was like, "Oh my God, your leg looks like that. How come somebody didn't come see him sooner?" And then they came, and she was yelling at somebody behind the glass and stuff, and the other nurses are just sitting around and on the cell phones are doing stuff. It's like, "How long has he been here? Why haven't you guys seen him? How come he's not getting done right now? He can be real bad pain right now. He could be dying from this, and you guys are just sitting around." It's like, she was yelling pretty loud, but I could hear a lot of the stuff that was going on. So I'm sitting there, and I get wheeled in to the operation things like that. My dad came with me. I think it was my dad. No, it was a stepmother. She was there for the soccer game thing, and she was cheering me on and stuff. She was a mean lady then, but she was into the spirit of certain things. She was Christian. She was in the spirit of things. Anyway, she was there. She was kind of crying. She was upset. She was looking at my leg. She goes, "It's hard to look at." She goes, "I know it's very painful," and stuff like that. And I'm laying there, and I got X-rays done. I had to twist this way and twist that way, and to get the right angles and stuff. And then you had to do it again and get the other angles because something was either moved or something like that, and had to be twisted around again. And it was a lot of pain. I said, "Doc, are we going to get this done or what? I'm in really bad pain." He goes, "Okay, yeah, all right." That was the last X-ray. So then I'm wheeled from there to the room, and the doctor shortly came in, told me, he goes, "Well, we're gonna have to try to fix this. I don't know if we're gonna be able to cast it away because time has passed." And I said, "I wanted to get this done and get out of here." So he's injecting some kind of thing into my leg, and the needles are painful, and he had to numb the pain. And then I heard, then he was sitting there. She was holding me back, and I was holding me, and then crack, it breaks it back in place, and I got another doctor to come in and then cast it, and I was out of there. I'm just trying to wrap this up because I know I'm done, guys. So it was pretty painful. If you guys like this video, please do hit the like button. If share this video on the channel, might benefit you, might benefit me. Please do tell your friends and family about me. Thank you for viewing this video and whatever time you guys watch it. Hope you all have nice days, morning, night. Remember, it's better to be Aboriginal than original.